Let's now talk to Justin Urquhart-Stewart, the co-founder of Seven Investment Management. Justin, welcome back to the programme. How significant is this? Is this significant?
Oh, it is significant because there have been some very major changes, not least of which, of course, the word that very few people talk about in Britain these days, which, of course, is Brexit, which was supposed to create so much more benefit, wasn't it? But, of course, actually what it's done was actually pushed away certain investments elsewhere and over to continental Europe. However, London shouldn't necessarily despair. It's still the most international market in the world. You go to Paris and you generally get, well, French companies. You go to New York and, again, it's American. Britain is still by far the most international. But you can see when you look at whether it's the AIM market, the smaller companies market, the FTSE 250 index have been very heavily hit. Not unsurprisingly, because the outlook for the UK economy at the moment isn't exactly rosy. So that, with the level of inflation, and as we were just saying, what's happened with the euro against sterling, has all led to this weakness. But the question is, can London really show itself again to be back as being a proper international business, international centre, which can attract more investment? And the answer is yes, it can, but it's got to do some reforms in order to do so.
At the risk of trivialising it and making it sound like some sort of motor race, I mean, is this a temporary position? I mean, can there be another switch of status where London regains its position?
Yeah, I think there probably will be, because you've seen certain sectors doing rather badly on the UK one, and obviously, as you were just hearing about the luxury markets in France, those companies doing really rather well, and will probably continue to do so if the European economy, particularly France, recovers as we expect next year. But longer term, London is still going to be much more international. It's a much more liquid market, and of course is much more international in terms of currencies, as well as all the other supporting insurance and liquidity facilities that are necessary. So Paris and Berlin and those other ones will still grow, but they don't have the depth of international facilities that London's got.
It's sometimes said, isn't it, that Britain has this rather schizophrenic relationship with wealth creation and the City of London. I mean, some critics of the UK will suggest that Britain's over-reliance, perhaps, on the financial sector has come at the price of other regions of the UK and other sectors in the UK. Is that fair?
Well, to a great extent it is fair. One of the issues you look at, back in 1945, which I can't remember, there were 45 stock exchanges in Britain, most of which were utterly useless, run by syndicates in red braces. Actually, there were about 7 regional exchanges, including the one I came from originally, which was actually Glasgow. And that's where we started AIM, a smaller companies market. It wasn't called then, but creating actually what the whole original idea of what a stock exchange for, which was to raise local income, local investment for local business. The problem that London and Britain has got, it is very, very London-focused. It is too expensive, and it hasn't shown itself to be flexible enough. So that's where it needs to have more reforms coming through. And as it does that, then I'm afraid, well, it'll still attract some business, but won't fulfil its real opportunities.
Justin, you almost make it sound that this might be a good thing, that it's time for a reset to clear out some of the rubbish and then we can get back to business again. Is that what you're saying?
Heaven forfend I can't record investment managers and bankers as rubbish, but yes, there are some. No, we need to actually reform and change, and the City of London is not very good at doing it. We love going around in tricorn hats, I haven't got one, and with the Lord Mayor's show and things like that. And it's a great tradition, that's fantastic. But you need to have modern markets. We went through Big Bang back in the 80s, and that was a great change. We need to go through another stage of that to have more investment coming through. There's no shortage of money. What we haven't got is the right infrastructure, the right financial plumbing to make sure it operates successfully, efficiently, much more cost efficiently.
Justin, good to talk to you. Thanks very much for coming back on the programme. Justin Urquhart-Stewart, co-founder of Seven Investment Management.